Hey everyone. Alright, I just got off the highway and I'm off to buy two brand new 6-volt golf cart batteries for the camper. In the previous video I talked about loaning my 6-volt batteries out. They were a couple years old then, and a buddy of mine was going on vacation and this and that, and I said, we were hanging out, and I said, something, we'll install my batteries on your rig and you'll notice the difference right away. So we did that, and let's just say I never really got the batteries back. I could have gotten them back, but I know they've been used and abused, so I just pretty much said, something, keep them. Trying to teach somebody how to take care of batteries and not run them down too low and things like that, that's something that's actually, you really have to learn that. It's more of a science, it's more of an art than it is something you can just verbally tell somebody, because they think, most people think if the battery reads 12 volts, it's a full battery, when it's not. A half a volt or a volt, a tenth of a volt rather, like 12.2 volts and 12.3 volts, there's a huge difference between 12.2 and 12.3. So a 12 volt battery is generally full when it's over 12.6 volts, and it's technically dead when it's reading 12 volts. So if you let your batteries go down to below 12 volts, you are doing a little bit of damage to them. The more you allow that to happen, the more they go down, the more damage you do over time, the less the less that your batteries will actually work for you. The more damage you do, the less life you'll have. There's no reason why deep cell batteries, which are not the marine batteries, they're not those RV batteries that you see at Walmart or at your RV store. I'm talking true deep cell batteries, which are your 6-volt batteries. They are 3 2-volt cells in each battery. Those are true deep cycle batteries. They have thicker lead plates, solid lead plates, where a lot of the hybrid batteries, like the marine RV batteries, they're actually a lead mat that's in there. They're more of a netting to increase surface area of the lead. And what that does is it lets them produce a hybrid battery that has better reserve capacity than, say, a regular starting battery, but not quite as well as a deep cycle battery. So we're off to get two 6-volt batteries. The reason being is today is Thursday, and I'm leaving for 11 nights of boondocking next Thursday. So I have a week to get everything done that I need to get done. Today I spent the day cleaning the camper. I scrubbed all the canvas and everything else, which I haven't done yet this year. It was disgusting. So I spent like 4 hours just cleaning the canvas on the camper. And now I'm off to buy the batteries. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Sam's Club. I just got off the highway to get to a Sam's Club over here that has them in stock. I would have went to Costco, but they no longer carry batteries, 6-volt batteries, so the golf cart batteries. Now I know this Sam's Club does. There's two different types of 6-volt battery. There's the GC2 and the EGC2, I think it is. I'll show you when we get there. Big dip. There's a few amp hour differences. One's a slightly larger golf cart battery than the other, but the price difference is huge. Like the normal golf cart battery is like $84, where the EGC2, or the one with the E in it, is more like $100. So like $20 more or something like that per battery, or $30 more per battery. I don't want those. I really don't need that extra 15 amp hours with the solar and the things that I run in the camper now. But if I find that the manufacture date is newer on the more expensive battery, I will spend the extra to get a newer manufacture date. It's one thing when you're buying a battery you should always look for is the date there should be a sticker or a stamp that has the date it was manufactured. Very important. Get the newest, you don't get the newest date you can find. You don't want, to spend that kind of money on a battery for one that's been sitting, not being charged, just sitting on the shelf for 2 years. So keep that in mind. All right, we're here at Sam's Club. Let's see, we'll find a parking space. I'm going to park over by the automotive section over here. All right, let's go see what they got. All right, now these are the ones I'm looking at right here. They're 8452. They are the GC2s. Now these are the ones I was telling you before. These are the EGC2s. But look at the price difference, 112 to 84. Alright, well these are the ones I got, the Duracell GC2s. They were 84 change, so it was like 189 bucks because there's a $5 core charge on each one. The G5, I don't know if you heard the man say that the G stands for the month and the 5 is the year, so 2015. They actually had one there that was 2014, so it was like an A4 or something like that, which means it was a year older than this one. If I would have put those two together, it could have been a problem. You would have had one older battery and one newer battery. You should buy the batteries in pairs if you're going to do something like this with the same manufacturing date. So I went with these because they were the newest month and year. They were also cheaper than the EGC2s. The extra 15 amp hours with the solar, I really don't see the need for the pop-up. This is a lot of power right here alone. Get these home. We'll make up the cable that links them together, puts them in series. Once you put them in series, they will be 12 volts at 215 amp hours as a whole, the two together. Because once you go in series, volts are doubled, amps stay the same. If I was running them in parallel, volts would stay the same and the amps would double. So there you go. Now that's actually fairly cheap for a couple batteries. $84 per battery. I know they're only 6 volts, but they are true deep cycle batteries, unlike the ones you get at Walmart for $40 or whatever else. Some people would argue to say you should go with two 12-volt batteries, run them in parallel, double the amperage. But there's still not a lot of amperage. The two Group 24s that are on the camper now, they're only like 70 amp hours each. So that's 140 amp hours between the two. Usable, now you're not supposed to take them down lower than, we'll say, 50%. So you still only have 70 amp hours. By going with these golf cart batteries, I have 215 amp hours once I put them into in series. That'll give me over 100 amp hours of capacity, and that's not taking it down below 50%. And when you do take it down below 50%, these batteries, the 6-volt golf cart batteries, true deep cycle batteries, can handle a lower discharge than the marine RV hybrid batteries that you normally get. So, there's AGMs, lithium, there's a lot of different batteries out there that people like to use. Some like to even use like the Optimum batteries. Now, the Optimum batteries are very low capacity. I mean, they're only like 55 or 60 amp hours. They're even lower. Now, granted, they don't off-gas as much. They don't, you can take them down a little bit lower, but they're also a lot more expensive. I would rather buy these at it was 189, I think it was. But that was a $5 core charge for each, which I have 2 old batteries, which I'll bring back and get that back. So let's just say 60, So $170 got me both batteries. I would rather spend that every few years, every 4 or 5 years, than risk spending $200 per battery, draining them down too far, or doing something wrong. You never know. Something can happen, and being out that kind of money. So for me, golf cart batteries are the way to go. They are the best bang for the buck. If you do a Google search or even a YouTube search, you'll generally find the same information I'm telling you, that the golf cart batteries, I mean, the Trojan batteries are probably the best. The T105s are comparable to the batteries I just bought, but they're significantly more money. Now, they are a heavier battery. They're probably a better quality battery. But for the price and the bang for the buck, I'm happy with my decision.